Hi, this is David Erler, and I always say from Heart of the Lion School of Martial Arts. But here's the thing: I am now currently at Steve Ashcraft's School of Martial Arts. He also teaches MMA fighting, but I am in his Taekwondo classes, and today, I want to speak about how and why you should find a good instructor. Doesn't matter what the martial art is, whether it be taekwondo, kung fu, karate, judo, jiu-jitsu, whatever. Uh, the reasons to find a good instructor, one that fits your personality or your time, whatever, and is able to adapt his teaching to your ability. I am 61 years old. I started with Ashcraft a little over a year ago. I have taken my 4th degree black belt test through him. He is a 9th degree grandmaster in Kwan Taekwondo. He also is a champion in the MMA. He's got the fastest knockout by a kick. He has a couple of people that have equaled his accomplishment. And he is a very good instructor. Some people don't like his methods of teaching because they're pretty much old-fashioned and new-fashioned at the same time. The reason why I say new-fashioned is that not everybody wants to I think I'm going to sneeze, so excuse me. Okay. He likes to teach what reality is going to be out on the streets. So when he teaches a technique as if you had to use it out in a real life situation. So we do the class or classes for quite a period of time around situations that can really happen and what techniques to use for these situations. Okay, and he explains why a technique is done a certain way and what techniques to use for this situation that are the best to use at that particular time. So when you're looking for an instructor and you're out and about going to the different martial arts schools and you find someone who impresses you on his skill, okay, great. He can be very skillful and very knowledgeable and still not be a good teacher. Why do I say that? Well, a good teacher is going to not only do the technique, show the technique, but he should also explain the technique, not only on how it's done, but why it's used, and so on. Good instructors take into account your physical ability. Sometimes it has to include your mental capability too, because if you're a person who's a little slow, or you're very fast, maybe you are a fast learner, or maybe you're a slow learner as far as grasping an idea and putting it to use in here and in here and here. Your ability to be able to learn and learn quickly is up to you. The main thing is be a good student. And a good student is also has to be kind of like that sponge. Now, some of us sponges, like this old man right here, aren't as fast as a younger kid who's half or even more than half the age of me. Okay. Like I said earlier, I'm 61 years old. I have been training in the martial arts ever since I was 5-6 years old. And I started off with Kung Fu, and I went through a lot of different martial arts. And I have black belts and degrees in several of those martial arts. I also decided that because of one grandmaster that impressed me the most, who was able to give me the most knowledge, and I was able to stick with the longest period of time, I was able to go all the way up through third degree black belt with Grandmaster David Shanin. I am now with Grandmaster Steve Ashcraft, and I have been able to go from third degree to fourth degree. And I am currently working on the things that I need to know to go from fourth to fifth. So, and I am very hopeful that the time that I need to accomplish this, I'm able to stick with it. Health-wise, I am healthy pretty much now, but I don't know what's going to be tomorrow or the next day. So, and I'm also working on my skill. When I first moved here to Texas, I opened up a martial arts school of my own in the New Braunfels area. There was a flood in '98, took out the school. I was done. I mean, I was finished. And I had given up. I really did. Up until that time, I was in really good shape. Doing 150, 250 push-ups, and being able to do the splits all the way to the floor. I was there. I was the type of athlete that I should have been at that age. Well, time happens. And because of losing the school and not having enough money to open up another one, it just devastated me. So I gave up. It was just a bad time for me. And between that time, and we're talking 1998 to just a few years ago, and I'm talking about 2018, 19, up until the time I started to go back to the martial arts. And the reason why I decided to go back to doing the martial arts is that I gained, and you've probably seen some of my past videos if you've watched any, and then you look at the one that you see now, you can tell that I'm not a pudgy guy, but I've lost quite a bit of weight in these last couple of years. And the reason is that I let myself go. I regret doing that totally. I got fat. Ta-da! I got fat, yes. And I was not able to even touch my knees, let alone being able to pick up something off the floor. But going back to doing the martial arts, and I was pushing 280 pounds. Okay? I had to do something about it. So going back to doing the martial arts was a way for me to start losing weight. Because I was also going to be doing something that I knew that once I got into it, I would stick with it a lot better than just going to a gym or someplace just to exercise. I try to get to lose weight through some type of program for losing weight and stuff like that. I knew that for me it just wasn't going to work because, hey, in the past I tried some of those things and I lost some weight and I gained a lot back. I lose a little bit and I gain a lot back. I just had to do something. So getting back into doing the martial arts had to be it. Okay. Now, before COVID hit, I spent a year and a half, almost 2 years, with a karate school that was the ATA. I don't want to down the ATA. They've got a great program. But when COVID hit, the school I was going to had to shut down. They had no choice. Because you can't throw a punch at somebody and have them 6 feet away and go, ow. No, it ain't gonna happen. And then the wearing the masks in class, you can't hear each other when you're talking. You practically have to scream. It was just not going to happen. So during that time, I tried to train on my own. That really wasn't working. So one day, my wife and I and a friend of ours was looking for a medical supply place, and we were looking for this place because my friend, she needed a cane that had a big foot on the bottom of it for stability. She's a big lady. She's way older than I am, and she could barely get around. So we were looking for this place, and I had it on the GPS on my phone, and I'm just following the little blue dot, and then drive around, and you get to this place because I put in an address, and it says you have arrived. And I look out the window, and it just says martial arts school. And I said, ladies, this isn't it. And they said, well, okay, let's put in a new address and see if we can't find another one. And I go, wait a minute, hold on a second. It says Taekwondo, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to go talk to whoever's there for a moment. So I went inside and I talked to Steve, and he convinced me to come back a couple of days later and go to one of his classes. And he impressed me with his knowledge and how he teaches. And I just said, okay, I'm going to go back to class. And he said that, okay, what degree were you in you stopped? Oh, I was a third degree. Okay, fine. We're going to keep you at a third degree. You got to work hard and go from third to fourth. I was like, okay. And I was like dumbfounded. I was like, all right. But the thing is, once I started in with his classes, I not only was impressed by him, but he was impressed by me. And I impressed him with the knowledge that I have of the different martial arts that I've taken. And I've gone through all this stuff. And he's like, wow, didn't know you knew as much as you know. And in a lot of ways, I know things that he doesn't, because he was pretty much just Taekwondo and MMA related, fighting in the ring kind of guy, because that's what he did. I mean, he became quite famous in the Texas area, and come to find out that when I was talking to other instructors that I've run into around here and other people, they knew him, and he had been around for quite a while. His school had been in the same spot for over 50 years. And it's just like, wow, I'm very lucky to find this guy. So when I went into doing the martial arts back with him, I've been with him a little over a year now. I have taken my 4th degree black belt test and I passed. Ta-da! Okay. But it wasn't without quite a bit of pain and agony, and oh my God, at the end of that test, I was barely standing, but I was standing. I impressed him with my abilities to just withstand the test, along with I had a partner to do our 4th degree black belt test together. His name is Scott, and Scott and I did our test together, and both of us passed. Scott is about 10 years younger than I am, so he has a slight advantage because he's a little younger. His kicks are a lot higher than mine, and we did great. I'm gonna say we passed. All right, so that was the end of that. But both of us like our instructor, and that's the thing. Get to know your instructor. Get to like your instructor, because your instructor becomes part of your family. And I know that when I was growing up as a young man, I didn't have a father in my life as a role model. My mother, my grandmother, and were the ones that raised me. And my instructors going through the martial arts had a lot to do with me becoming who I am today. So take your time, go to the different schools, look for an instructor that you can, in your heart, know that you could spend a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of energy and some blood, sweat, tears, and I do mean blood, because things are going to happen, and, you know, like I said, things happen. I've had my teeth knocked out in class. I've had broken bones, had a few cracked ribs, and different, well, those are the judo stuff. I've had cracked ribs and stuff like that, and I've never had a broken arm, but I have had a broken arm in my own stupidity when I was a very young man. But I've had broken fingers and cracked bones, and but I took everything as a learning experience. And there's different things in this life that are going to teach you different things. And the martial arts can be a very good thing to have in your corner as something you can draw from in a lot of situations. So I hope you take this video to heart, and may all the forces be with you. I like that. And live long and prosper. Yes, I would say. Do it or not do it. I prefer to do it. I don't have the pointed ears, but you know what I mean. You have a good day. Bye-bye.